For some, a job is just a job. For others, a job is a family tradition.
I was riding fire trucks and riding in squad cars as long as I can remember. I grew up in the fire service. So my grandfather was a founding father of Woodbury Fire Department. My dad is Mike Richardson, former fire chief of Woodbury Fire. I used to go to fire calls with my parents, my dad being a firefighter and my mom being on the auxiliary. So when my dad would go out for calls, we would go with my mom and we'd hang around the fire scenes and she'd do her auxiliary thing and dad would do the fire thing and the kids would run amok. So
as the years went on, Andrea found herself drawn to a different career path.
when college came around, I actually had intentions to go into nursing. I did a couple semesters of college and got waitlisted for nursing. And my dad's like, well, hey, how about you go just do that EMT thing, see how you like it.
She was originally hired in Cottage Grove as an EMT, but very quickly was convinced to also go to fire school. And 15 years later, she's still doing both as a firefighter, paramedic.
As a paramedic, we start our day with our truck checks and going through our ambulances and making sure that everything is ready to go. Then we take calls as they come in, and they can vary from just a fall to a full cardiac arrest, depending on the day, and there's no rhyme or reason on how they come out. It's just what it is what you get. The first baby delivery I ever had was a very rare baby delivery, which is called an en-call birth. The baby was born in the sack, in the back of my ambulance, cruising down 35E. So it was one of those like, oh my goodness, you look at this baby in the sack and you're like, well, that's different. I've never experienced this. And baby was fine. He was preterm, but he was fine. So yeah, it was kind of like one of those, you sit and look for a moment, you're like, now what? You just cut them out of the sack and continue on as if they were born not in the sack. They don't prepare you for that in medic school. It's not something that's discussed. I didn't even know it had a term or that it could happen until it happened. So it's kind of like you gotta be on your toes. That's kind of how we function around here. You gotta be prepared for a little bit of everything.
One thing Andrea wasn't exactly prepared for was meeting her future husband, who also happens to be, you guessed it, a firefighter.
First time I met her was at Station 4.
I was down at Station 4 doing my orientation.
I went down there to introduce myself and kind of meet the new hires, and she was one of the new hires and recruits at that time. It was only 6 months to a year after I joined. So
we were over at the wall looking through the maps because I was doing my driving portion of my FTO. I
said, hey, I'm Travis. I got to put my hand out to shake her hand, and
I stuck my hand out and I go, hey, I'm Andrea. Didn't pay any attention to him.
Kind of blew me off going, yeah, how are you doing? Like that, and went back to what she was doing.
Because I'd met so many people over the weeks prior that I was like, oh, it's just another firefighter. I'm sure I'll get to know him at some point.
2 years later, Andrea and Travis started dating, and in 2009, tied the knot.
The whole department was invited to the reception. There was a fire truck, yeah. There was a fire truck. Of course there was a fire truck. It wasn't at the wedding. We stopped here for pictures. At our wedding, we had the name on the back of my helmet changed over to Place. So we displayed our helmets side by side on a table at our reception. What are your plans for today?
Got 3 kids.
Brooklyn is 10. So I can change the tires. Tanner is going to be 7 next week.
Have not enough water in that truck anymore.
And Lyndon is 4.
They are very understanding that mom and dad do this job and they appreciate it.
I want to be a geologist, or I kind of want to be a firefighter or a pilot. Pilot and firefighter and model train setter. I just want to be me.
It'd be really cool to have them grow up and be firefighters or paramedics or EMTs, but ultimately at the end of the day, I just want them to do whatever makes them happy, so. Good.
That mom mentality that Andrea has is something others at the fire station have picked up on.
I'm mom to a lot of people around here. Shut the battery off when you're done.
She's been here the longest as far as paramedics go.
I like to help people learn and kind of grow their careers. And I've had a lot of experiences that not necessarily everyone has had. To be able to make a difference in somebody's day, that's really cool.
So do you want a sticker?
I like the interaction with the public, and it's really fun, especially kids, to be able to go out into the community events and show kids the truck and show them what we do and kind of see that like cliche sparkle in their eye, because that was me when I was little, and that's really fun. We're really proud of what we've accomplished and where we're going, and I think that we're one of the better services in the metro area. I'm kind of partial, but I would totally say that Cottage Grove is the place to be.